Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. We like heroes and heroines, people who do impossible things or overcome great odds. From childhood to elderhood, we identify with many heroes and heroines, real and imagined. We define our ideals by the heroes we choose, and in turn, our ideals, courage, honor, and truth, for example, define us. Our heroes and heroines symbolize the qualities we would like to have and the ambitions we'd like to fulfill. We need heroes because they inspire us to do great things and make the world a better place. My personal list of favorites runs the gamut from Martin Luther to Mahatma Gandhi to the great Mariano Rivera. I don't know what that reveals about my character other than a fierce loyalty to the Yankees in the heart of Red Sox Nation, which requires a certain fortitude. But not all heroes achieve fame and fortune. So many of those who rise up to help and heal the world are anonymous, everyday, ordinary human beings who do extraordinary things without making headlines, all by the grace of God. Today's Old Testament lesson features the prophet Elijah, perhaps the greatest hero in all of Bible history. In today's story, Elijah has just achieved the most dramatic triumph of his career in a confrontation with King Ahab and Queen Jezebel and worshippers of the pagan god Baal on Mount Carmel. As Elijah had promised, God revealed himself in an enormous fire, proving Elijah's God to be the one true God, and Baal a false, empty idol. Elijah walked away from Mount Carmel a hero, a prophet above all prophets, a superhero. But beware, the hero model can lead us to superficial perceptions and unrealistic expectations of other people and ourselves. Only Jesus is superhuman, and only God has the power to make miracles happen. Even heroes stumble and fall, prophets too. And in today's story, Elijah hits rock bottom in one fell swoop. Fleeing from Jezebel's order to have him killed, Elijah races south, running non-stop until he is completely exhausted and out of options. He feels near death and wants God to finish him off. Today's lesson focuses on a direct encounter between a despondent Elijah and a persistent God, a God who refuses to let the prophet off the hook just because there is difficult work to do. God had plans for Elijah. He responds to Elijah's breakdown by dispatching an angel to minister to his needs. There is food, drink, and sleep, all of which fortify him for a 40-day journey to Mount Horeb, the place that Israel associates with the presence of God. Biblically speaking, mountaintops are thin places in the atmosphere where important encounters with God take place that reveal His will and give us insight into the meaning of life. This is, of course, the same mountain, also known as Mount Sinai, where Moses communed with Yahweh, where he caught a glimpse of God's backside, and where he received the 10 Commandments. Standing in the very same spot, on the very same mountain, where Moses had experienced Yahweh, the word of the Lord came to Elijah. But God doesn't give Elijah a prophetic oracle to deliver. He gives him a divine question to answer "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah seizes the opportunity to unpack his bag of woes. He has an opportunity to express his deep disappointment in himself, in God, and in God's people, and his fear for his life. God listened and responded, but not in the way Elijah expected or even wanted at the time. A display of earth, wind, and fire comes and goes, and then sheer silence. Again, God asks, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Once again, the prophet laments the state of affairs in Israel and how the burden of Israel's spiritual welfare rests on his shoulders. The tone of God's question and the fact that he repeats it indicates some disapproval. It suggests that prophets don't belong on isolated mountaintops of mystical transcendence. They belong out in the world doing the work of God. Elijah wants to be coddled. Instead, God tells Elijah to get back to work and gives him a to-do list. It is not the experience of God's dramatic or quiet presence that will change Elijah. It is the experience of doing the work that God has given him to do. God's grace is found in the work of building the kingdom of heaven, in the nitty-gritty details of life as it unfolds. God is still working out his purposes in the history of his people, and he continues to act in wondrous ways. But that is not the only way God works in the world. If we only look for God in spectacular signs and wonders, we will miss him in the quiet, ordinary, unseen, gentle moments of our lives. The same prophet who stood boldly against kings and idol worshippers was driven to his lowest point. He was a man of God, but still a mere human, imperfect and not always heroic. But it is only in his weakened state that Elijah can hear the quiet voice of God, who reveals something of his character by refusing to allow Elijah to wallow in his own misery. Our innate restless searching, our longing and capacity for more, and our deep desire for meaning lead us to thin places that transcend time and space, to divine moments that change us, sustain us, prepare us, encourage us, and show us who we really are. Faith is about remembering those moments of revelation and building our lives on them. We don't need to climb mountains to have a heightened experience of God. We must be grounded in prayer, have vision beyond the horizon, and be open to the new things God is always doing in creation. Elijah would go on to mentor his successor, Elisha, who would continue Elijah's legacy and maintain the same high standards of faithfulness and integrity in serving the one true God. God always has more work for us to do. Just look around. Elijah discovered in God's quiet and holy presence a renewed and meaningful purpose in his relationship with God. How did Elijah respond to the conditions and challenges of his time? He came to understand that in returning in rest we shall be saved, and quietness and confidence shall be our strength. He had been lifted by God's mighty spirit to God's presence, where we can be still and know that God is God. It behooves us to pick our heroes carefully. As children of God, as parents and grandparents of coming generations, as citizens of the world, how do we respond to the fears and uncertainties of our own changing times? by making sure that the people we raise up as objects of admiration and respect embody the highest values of our heritage. Character matters. It comes from God, and God's standards must be our own.